What's up, Lego builders? Welcome back to Coconut Brick Studios for another episode of Building Utapau. This week was a little bit tricky because I'm running really low on parts right now for the areas that I'm currently working on, as well as it was the week of Christmas and I was putting out a lot of other content as well as trying to relax and spend some time with family. But all that being said, I did have some pretty big breakthroughs, especially with the arch area kind of over that's going to be hanging over the larger landing platform. I've been stuck for a while as to what that's going to look like just because there was no concept art or anything like that. This week I'm going to be tackling that and trying to figure out what it's going to look like and what kind of parts I'm going to need to order in order to finish that. I'm also going to be doing a little bit of rock work in the back and kind of showing you guys what exactly the inner cavern is going to look like. All that being said, it's time to get building. All right, it's time for another week of building Utapau. So what I'm working on right now while I'm waiting on more tile and plate to kind of finish off this area is figuring out how tall the inner cavern is going to be. So I've got a couple places that I'm going to work on building to kind of gauge, and the first is this right here. So this is going to be a large pillar to the right of this landing platform, and what this is going to be doing is basically holding up the whole right side of the mock. And so right now I'm trying to build it and just see like, okay, how high and how tall does this need to be realistically? And I think I'm getting pretty close to the right height. It's going to be really tall. I need to be able to fit an ATTE inside of this cavern, so that's kind of what I'm using to size this. It is going to be a lot taller than Grogo. As you can see, I've got the child here with me and he's going to fit in this cavern very nicely. I may end up using some of these parts for Utapau, that's why he's in here. Anyways, I think it's looking really nice. So it's going to be just this large kind of natural pillar. It's going to kind of taper in the middle, then get wider as it comes up here to the top. Then here in the back, I'm just kind of building the back walls. I can't do a whole lot with these back walls just because I don't exactly know what's going on right here. I did say there will be buildings, but I haven't planned those yet or what they're going to look like. Over here on this side, I am making a little bit more progress. So initially what I was going to do is just have a rectangle right here, just like the other side. The only problem is the larger platform is on this side, and so it comes really close to where I was going to have the buildings, and I'd hate to have buildings right here and then the inner landing platform right there. I wanted to have a little bit of space. So what I think I'm going to do is kind of build the terrain back to about here, and then I'm going to have this kind of taper that way, and then as we go that direction, the back wall is going to kind of snake forward like that till we get up to about right here. And I'm thinking about having the wall start or end at about right here. That way it kind of comes back and angles backwards to give you more space around this larger platform area. Because it's the week of Christmas and I don't have a whole lot of parts right now, still waiting on more tile and slopes, I don't know how much progress I'm going to get made, but I'm going to keep working on that back wall, maybe get a little more work done on this pillar, and then I guess what I can do is start working on this light bluish gray arch that's going to go right here. When I've got more to update with you guys, I'll check back in. Okay, sorry about the mess. Things are really crazy right now, but I wanted to take a quick second and update you guys before I got too far along with this part of the build that I'm working on. So what I'm trying to create right now is this large kind of arch right here that's going to go over this landing platform area, and it's going to have more stuff up here. But what I'm trying to do right now is figure out what each of the side columns are going to look like, because I have zero concept art, and most of the kind of like landing platforms on Utapau don't really have any kind of art or arch or structure around them. But I figured it would be kind of cool to have one, and this will help hold up the cavern roof. So I figured even if maybe the actual scene doesn't have one, I should put one in. Anyways, this is kind of what I've come up with so far, and I've actually been really stumped as to what these are going to look like. And then today I was doing the dishes and I had a stroke of inspiration. I thought back to an old mock I had done a while ago called Republic Base on Scarif, but I really liked a technique I did with the kind of side, with the side hanger wall, and that is using these 1x3 slopes and then these taller slopes. I don't remember what their exact name is, but just there's something about this slope change right here that is very visually appealing, for me at least. You guys will have to let me know what you think down below in the comments. So I decided to go back, check out that video again, and copy that right here. I'm actually going to put a link to that video up in the top of the video if you want to go back and check that out. Anyway, so that's what I'm working on and working with the front right here. On the back, I'm actually putting in this plate right here. I'm going to leave it open, and I've got like I don't know, this kind of vent pattern. I didn't know what to do on the back. I didn't want it to be one smooth line on the back. So as you guys can see, I pushed the plate out just a little bit, so it's gonna pop out and we're gonna have a little bit of a ridge in the back. I kind of like that. I feel like a smooth back right there would be kind of boring and wouldn't look very good. I'm still not super satisfied with this, so things might change. If you guys have any ideas for making this kind of arch pillar thing look better, let me know down below in the comments, because to be honest, I'm really just kind of spitballing here. I'm putting pieces down, taking them up, changing it a little bit, but this is what I'm working with so far, and once I'm done with this little update, I'll get back to it. I do only have the pieces to build one side, so I'll probably only get one done on this update even if I finish it. Here's the final update for this week of building Utapau, and I'm pleased to say I had a decent amount of progress from the last little time I checked back in, so I got a lot more of this pillar done. I think it might have been a little bit taller last time I showed you guys. I actually got it up to about here. The only problem was I just was not happy with how it looked. And I think it's because it was all the same color, just plain light bluish gray, and I think that was really bothering me. So what I did was I put 2 dark bluish gray stripes down the side. Really simple solution, and I think it actually really spices up the arch a lot. Once it's complete, I'm gonna have like a walkway up here and like pipes and wires and stuff hanging down, but as far as the 2 pillars themselves, I wanted them to have at least a little bit of detail. And I started building one on this side too, just because I was toying with 2 different designs. So I was thinking about having one thick dark bluish gray line kind of going up the middle, but I think the 2 smaller ones on the outsides look much better. Unfortunately, I am out of pieces, so this is all I'm going to get done this week. However, I am happy to finally have this roadblock out of the way. I'd been stumped for a while on what they're going to look like, so now I can kind of go to work on getting them done and finished. Over here on the back, I have more of this large fan design. So what I'm doing here is creating, I don't know why I said fan, I'm creating a bunch of vents that honestly, if we're being real, not really sure what they're venting. I just thought it needed some kind of detail here on the back. But what I did was take some black plate and place these dark bluish gray tiles on top of them. I had used light bluish gray plating right here, but then you could kind of see the light bluish gray behind the vents, and I feel like this kind of gives the illusion that, you know, they're actually hollow and these vents lead to something. So that's going to be sitting here in the back. Another thing I added to the backside, some more things I added to the backside were these large slopes. These are just 1 by something slopes. They're super tall, but the reason I put them on is because I felt like the back here was way too flat and there wasn't really going anything on. And there wasn't really anything going on. And then here in the front, you know, you've got like this slope going up here at different angles. So I decided to kind of copy that on the back here, and I put double slopes here in the back and then a single one right here in the front. I must say it adds a surprising amount of detail and just texture to the backside and really spices it up and makes it look more realistic. I would think if you're having like a pillar or structure this large, you would need sloping supports on either side to kind of help it keep stable. So I'm very happy with how those look, and those are most likely going to stay. That wraps up this week of building Utapau. Might have been a little bit shorter of a week just because it was Christmas and stuff, and I've been busy with, you know, celebrating the holidays as well as working on other projects. But next week I should have a decent amount of pieces coming in, so hopefully we'll be able to get the rest of this plated off and maybe finish this platform and start working on some buildings, but we'll see. Anyways, time to hit the outro. Thank you all so much for watching this week of building Utapau. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm really happy with the progress I made. I'm so excited to have finally broken through the barrier of what those arches are going to look like over the larger landing platform, and now I can really roll up my sleeves and get to work on getting those finished, because I am kind of on a tight timetable right now, trying to get this mock wrapped up and trying to get it underway and trying to get the inner caverns underway so I can really figure out what all that is going to look like, because I still have to design all the buildings and stuff. That's probably going to be more of next week's focus, is finally taking a look at what the inside of Utapau looks like. I've got some cool concept art as well as some video game images and some images from the actual Battle of Utapau that I'm going to be showing you guys and using as inspiration. All that being said, if you guys like this video, don't forget to leave me a big thumbs up, and if you have any questions, comments, feel free to leave them down below in the comment section. And if you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing so you won't miss out on any future Utapau updates or good content. But until next time, happy building.